She made this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Peace and life. That's right. From the very beginning, the first sound is the beat of the heart. The sound of life is only right. Let the beat is the start. We embark on the life of making memories of sounds. In our mind, what we find, we can make it with.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back. Another episode of Beats and Life. I'm your host, Manifest Mo B, Marlon Brown. Got about 2 or 3 names, but we're going to go with Manifest tonight because I got a real one. I got a real in-depth observation of what I would call just like a lot of themes that I say on this channel. You got the power of life and death in your tongue. Speak life, you know what I'm saying? If you want life, don't play with death, you know what I'm saying? That's not what you want. So, man, a lot of what Diddy going through right now is more than this Mann Act. So a lot of y'all might not know what the Mann Act is. And I'm actually gonna share what that is. So the Mann Act is basically, it's like one of the last laws that's like really directed towards black men, like specifically. That's what it was created for. And it was created for a boxer, the first black heavyweight champion of the world. The Mann Act was created because this boxer, he was big and black. He liked white women. And so the Mann Act was basically created to convict a black man if he was having sex with a white woman. You know, it's basically like along the same lines as like the IRS laws, how they, you know, they couldn't get a lot of these bootleggers back in the day on bootlegging, so they got them on tax evasion. So this law was created around the same time, a little earlier than that. So it was just a way to create a technicality. And this law is pretty much connected to how Diddy got convicted. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically the same law. And I'm gonna share this, you know, this video. I'm gonna add the links to all these videos in the description. But check this out.
The advantage that light-skinned people have with white people is that if white people actually look at them, they can see themselves. But Jack Johnson was a big, black, dark-skinned man. See, extremely dark-skinned black guys in particular, everybody is put out by them. Because when they come on the scene, everybody tends to feel they're in the presence of something aboriginal. Somebody like Jack Johnson, everybody's like,
that's God right there.
Back at the beginning. That's the man made in God's image. I love that. Johnson had that kind of power too.
That's God. Like, that's the presence of God, baby.
Enjoyed it. They must have enjoyed being scared. We all go to see a horror movie because we like being scared. It's part of human nature, you know.
Only the devil would be scared of God.
Booger bear, and I'm going to be happy. And it wasn't just white people. The decent black folk didn't want their daughters associated with him. So he couldn't have a date with so-called decent black girl, whatever that meant.
That's because they love white people
black
too.
People were so-called middle-class black people were scared of him, terrified of him, as much as white people were.
Advice to Jack Johnson. Mr. Jack Johnson must conduct himself in a modest manner. He can hurt the race immeasurably just now if he goes splurging and making a useless, noisy exhibition of himself. We hope that he will not be arrested on any charge. Any undue exhibition on the part of Mr. Johnson will hurt every member of the race. On the other hand, becoming modesty and self-control will win him many friends. The New York Age.
Modesty was never part of Jack Johnson's makeup. Neither was...
So basically, this law was created because these insecure white men were they wanted to get in the bed with Jack Johnson. Like, they were so terrified of this big, dark-skinned man that they had to create a law for him specifically. And so that same law is being used on Diddy. And Diddy not no big black man, but he is a big black man because he got big black pockets. So that's why I believe, from the prosecution and the state perspective, that's what I believe they convicted him for. But at the same time, I truly believe that Diddy isn't even thinking about that. I would beg to differ. I would say that he most likely thinking about this right here. To start a dialogue.
You've been on my platform a lot, and you never told this story before, and you did security when this situation happened. But tell me about the City College stampede that took place where 9 people died. Because I know you blame Diddy for that situation.
Well, we were scheduled to do the outside of the college, outside of the gymnasium, because that's what my team was good at. You understand? I had 18 guys prepared to be outside to make sure that we could get the crowd in order. You understand? Before there was any crowd. You got to set the things up before you even get the crowd like that, especially in those type of things. And back then in the days, we used to have dogs and everything. I would have a guy with 2 dogs walking the street, making sure people go down the lane, what I'm saying, and don't bum rush the doors. People ain't bum rushing the doors when you got dogs out there. You know what I mean? So, and it's crazy that we have to do parties like that, but that was one of our security things that we did. So now, Puff called me and said, "Yo, Gene, we only need 8 guys." I said, 8 guys? Ain't no way you're going to do the City College with 8 guys. He said, no, Heavy D, because him and Heavy D was doing a party together. He was like, yo, Heavy D want the FOIs to do the outside. I said, the FOIs? He said, yeah. So I said, yo, fuck it, I ain't going to do it. And then my man, who's my partner, Slick, said, yo, man, we're going to go ahead and do it, man. And we just going to get a couple of bottles, just going to chill. And, we just go outside. We do the downstairs. So Puff told me that, he just wanted us to do inside the gym to make sure that nobody, be over the celebrities like that. That's what he wanted my team to do. But most of the celebrities gonna have their own security anyway. You know what I'm saying? That was just a way to cut our security off anyway. So he cut the security and he got the FOIs, and the FOIs left their post, and that's how the people bum rushed the door, and 9 people died by going down those corridors.
And you blame Diddy for that?
Yeah, I do. It's his fault. But it's Jessica's fault for shutting the door. Because had she not shut the door, people would have just walked in the gym. And you'd have had a gym full of people. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody would have probably died. It's her fault and it's his fault.
So you really think it's Diddy fault? Why you believe that?
Because you don't cut security to save $1. You don't cut security when security is the most important thing that you gotta have at these places. And that's what he did. He didn't listen. He didn't listen. And I even told him, I said, yo, if the FOIs don't get a barricade away from this door, people gonna die tonight. I told that to him. And what happened? 9 people died that night.
What was his reaction to the 9 people dying?
I didn't talk to him for a while. He used to come around with us with the same game, and he just say, yo, he just speak to Gene. He like, yo, what up, Gene? I'll be like, yo, what up? I didn't speak to him until after that Suge Knight stuff that they had with Jake in Atlanta. That's when I started back really speaking to him.
Wow, because you felt the type of way about what he did?
Nah, come on, bro. 9 kids died, bro. I was pumping the chest of one little boy when my man was crying, talking about, yo, this is my first time him being out. This is the first time him being out, bro. My mama gonna kill me. I'm pumping on the chest of a little 17-year-old boy. How would you feel?
Yeah, man. I know Diddy thinking about that. You know, he thinking about that. And he also thinking about this right here, too. This is what Diddy's thinking about. He not thinking about what he got convicted of. He thinking about his karma.
The bad boy curse. How real is that?
It's real. It's real.
Damn.
But you got to keep that off of you.
Right.
You know, the bad boy curse is real.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is like, if you don't never stand up to Puff, if you don't never really look him in the eyes, like you have to look him in the eyes and say, bro, I will whoop your ass.
See that? No, Mark. But Mark, let me ask you something. I always wondered why nobody put no hands on this dude.
Yo, because he'll do it all the way up to a point and look at you quick. Every time he would walk in and see me, he'd say, Mark Curry, you still want to fight me? I'd be like, yeah, we can still do that. Get that over with real quick so we can move on. He come in, Mark Curry, you still want to fight me? Yeah, I want to have a, because one time I know he looked at me, when he was saying something, he was looking at me in the eyes like he was sunning me. He thought I was going to fit. He was looking at me like, and I was like, let me tell you something. I said, my man, if so happened to go from here, it's not going to stop right here. It's going to go all the way. You are not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to go here. It's going to turn these kind of people against you. And now it's going to be me against you. And I try to tell you, you look at me like I'm a little boy, but my brother, I am an animal. If you have to look him in the eye and say that, you touch me, I'm going to smack the shit out of you. I'm telling you.
So
I don't care how much money.
When was it over for you? Because that's what we didn't know. We knew you was in the loop, and then we know the book. We seen the tweets, but then the book is out. When did Mark Curry have enough?
Yo, when it was over, that's when he was doing Making It a Band, Day 26, all of them other MTV groups, and he didn't really care about the record label type groups no more. He was just, I'm just doing it for MTV. And he kind of like turned his back on all his artists. So he became MTV, Making It a Band and all of this. So he was living off of that. So he didn't really have to do no more music with the record label no more. So he was like, let me just ditch that and go do MTV. And then he went and messed their lives up. And then after all of them got messed up, and then you be like, damn, man, you know what? I sat back. If y'all could have just watched what was going on with me, you wouldn't have had to went through this if you would have just noticed what was going on. So you had to sit back and watch. Everybody fell. Everybody came back. Oh, it didn't work. It didn't work. Yeah, because it's designed not to work. Business is not designed to work with him. Nobody's meant to get rich with him except him or the females.
This is what I heard.
Yeah, man, that's that right there. That's man. That's some of that stuff that I'm talking about, man. So we talking about the karma that I know Diddy thinking about. He not thinking about the Mann Act, what he got convicted of, carrying women across state lines and all that. He already know that's a play, you know what I'm saying, that the government set for him. But he thinking about that kind of stuff, what Mark Curry was talking about, that karma, you know what I'm saying, doing people wrong, man, on your way up, stepping on people, you know, hurting people, taking people publishing, all of that kind of stuff. Like, he thinking about that, you know what I'm saying? He thinking about all the wrong people, all the wrong he did to people, all the, you know, I guarantee you he ain't even thinking about this. He ain't even thinking about this. He ain't even thinking about this either. I guarantee y'all, he ain't even thinking about this at all. He ain't thinking about this
on
either.
that video is inexcusable. It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
That's what you should have been asking for, forgiveness, and not saying you sorry. I wouldn't have said I'm sorry. I would have just said forgive me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. But, you know, I think it's valid, you know, that if he got out there on them drugs like he said he did, you know, where's the empathy at? You know what I'm saying? I thought being on drugs was a you know, a sickness. You know what I mean? Either way, you know, he got convicted of what he got convicted of, and let's watch that. You know, let's watch that. You know what I mean?
The sentencing of Sean Diddy Combs, a judge handing down a 4-year sentence for the rap mogul convicted on 2 prostitution-related charges. ABC News chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky was there and has more on the emotional moments in the courtroom. Aaron, when Combs pleaded for mercy from the judge.
He did, Janae, and he really wanted to be tasting freedom right now, but the judge refused to release him. Now his lawyers tell us the judge got it wrong. They're preparing to appeal.
This morning, Sean Combs is behind bars, sentenced to 4 years in prison for transporting women and male escorts across state lines for prostitution.
He can't be stopped now, cause it's bad boy for life.
Combs begged for mercy, telling the judge, "I know that I've learned my lesson." But the judge rejected his plea, saying the sentence needed to send a message to abusers and victims alike that exploitation and violence against women is met with real accountability.
It was clear from the judge's remarks that the sentence was driven by the conduct the jury rejected.
Combs was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy, but federal prosecutors argued he deserved 11 years in prison because he inflicted life-altering violence on women. And they said that physical abuse is on video, pointing to this 2016 hotel surveillance footage depicting Combs attacking Cassie Ventura.
How could the judge be blind to that and not punish him for the sum total of his conduct?
Well, the judge was allowed to take that into consideration, but what was clear from the judge's remarks was that he was going way beyond that.
Combs said, "I have been humbled and broken to my core," before apologizing to his children and tearfully telling his mother, "You raised me better." Is Sean Combs a changed man? You've been with him so long through this entire year-long prosecution.
I can say from the bottom of my heart, more than I think anybody else truly on this team can say, that he is a changed man.
How do you?
The defense played an 11-minute documentary-style video showing Combs as a doting father and a philanthropist. The judge acknowledged his impressive career and commendable charity work, but imposed the 4-year sentence, saying a history of good works can't wash away the record in this case, which showed that you abused the power and control that you had over the lives of women you professed to love dearly.
Defense attorneys told us they would appeal Combs's conviction, try to get his sentence reduced. And we heard from one of the jurors who told us Combs got off easy. This juror, who acquitted him of more serious charges, said 10 years would have been more appropriate, guys.
Dramatic and difficult trial and sentencing. Aaron, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so y'all heard that, man. I got so many thoughts on that. So many thoughts, man. But I'm gonna start with to me the obvious. He was gonna get some time. I knew he was gonna get some time. I knew he was gonna get the time that he got. You know, a lot of people might think it's harsh, you know, for the you know, exact crimes that they said he did, but I'm looking at the political climate right now. Like the political climate, I think, is at play. Just in general, the whole political climate is at play. I think if you a high profile case like Diddy right now, with the climate, the political climate, you know, as we all know, we have a resurgence in what they call black backlash. And so, yeah, like a lot of these laws was created to, you know, have law and order against black people. Like black people supposed to abide by the law. See, when a black man get in the system, he's no longer rich. You know, like Diddy was rich. He was a billionaire before he got into the system. Once he got into the system, he was just another black man. And that's partly of what this system is created to do, is to, quote unquote, try to keep us in our place. That's what it was invented for from the beginning of this country's inception. So, yeah, I knew he was going to get the time that he got. I knew because of everything going on politically. I knew the climate, man, we in a real difficult time, man. Like this, if y'all was alive when 9/11 happened, then you know these people start, man, if you was grown when 9/11 happened, then you know the feds was in town, basically. That means some indictments was gonna come, some stuff that you might have thought you got away with before. They finna come get you now. They was cracking stuff down. It was a drought on the amount of drugs that could be. I wasn't involved at all, but I knew a lot of people that were. And so this is the same climate, you know. Man, like they got the military in cities now, man. It's a totally different world than the world that Diddy knew before he got locked up. So, yep, I believe that. I also believe, you know, what's on Diddy's mind. I know he probably heard about the time that he got. You know, he already did 2. I guess he got 4.5. Hopefully he'll be out in, you know, a couple years. You know, he don't have to do the whole 4 and however many months. 50 months, I think I heard. What's that? 4 years and 2 months. Yeah. it ain't the worst, man. But things can happen. You know, you can lose some loved ones, man. You locked up, man. That's the worst. I heard. You know, I never experienced that, but that's just something I heard. And man, you know, for him, I just know that he know better, man. He should have known better anyway. Should have known better. Like the power of the tongue, like to speak certain things into existence. Like as a musician, you kind of aware of how powerful your words are. And like you really be in a heightened state of awareness. So you always know, you know, like we deal with frequencies in the music business. So we kind of know, you know, that it's certain little things that people can't even see that's at play. It's a spiritual thing. And so, man, that lifestyle, man, I personally wish that Diddy got married and had a family a long time ago. And just, you know, man, like to have any kind of excess is not good, especially excess of women, man. And when you a black man, especially, you really got to be careful. You know, you really got to be careful, you know, having too much of anything. So I believe he understood that. You know, a lot of us, we, you know, we're not perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. Any man, no man is perfect. So just saying that. But, you know, with everything that he represent, you know, with the struggle that he come from, we all come from, you know, his role, man, it's like we kind of, I guess we expect more out of people, out of celebrities, you know what I'm saying? But just being real, you know, they just people, you know. But I would say this, you know, to add to that, his background as far as doing people wrong in the music business, I know for a fact that that's in the back of his head. You know, like, damn, you know. Same people you cross on the way up will be the same people you see on your way down. Every time. Nothing can help you. Nothing can help that. You know, when you do wrong on your way up, you're going to see the same people on your way down. So that's just my take on it. You know, so I know the Mann Act is what he got convicted on, carrying women across state lines or whatever. I just wonder if all these people was in state, would he even have a charge? And I'm going to add this too. He should hire some private investigators to look into the lives of all the people that convicted him, because I guarantee you they probably do the same shit. This is a global world we living in, man. We got social media. People interact with people all over the world now. So this Mann Act, this is outdated. You know, to get somebody from another state to come see you and you have fun with them, you know, like, that's what people do. You know, it's normal. It shouldn't be against the law to do that. I don't even see how that. I think when that law was created, matter of fact, I know when that law was created, there was no airplanes, there was no social media. That law was created to specifically jam up Jack Johnson, a black man, messing around with a white woman. Boom. They seen him in this country or in this state, and then they see him in this state with that same woman. Oh, we got him on a crime. That's a crime. Like how? What? Simply because they didn't like that he was dealing with white women. That's how that law got created. We need to get a petition to abolish that goddamn law. That law shouldn't even exist. Because it don't even make no sense. But yeah, man, this is my thoughts on Diddy and everything he going through right now. 4 years and some change. I'm gonna pray for Diddy like I've been doing. I don't think he a bad person. I think he might have just lost his way, man, doing them drugs and shit like that. But he'll be all right. He'll be even better. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the end of the world. This is not no win for no politic related thing. But I'm sure it's a lot of people that's happy that he going through what he going through. That I did a video on that earlier. It's called Schadenfreude. It's basically when you happy that somebody else is hurting. So it's a lot of people that got a lot of Schadenfreude right now. They happy. They real happy. That's basically how they live their life. Being happy with others than misfortunes. And that's basically how a lot of people in this society operate. Like they're happy when somebody else is sad. And they're mad when somebody else is happy. Like people always ask me, what's wrong with me when I'm happy? Man, you got to be a miserable person to ask somebody what's wrong with them. But that's really their way of saying they want me to be mad or upset so they can be happy. That's just how I work with a lot of people. Yo, misfortunes help them, make them feel better. When you feel better, they feel sad. That's how a lot of people operate. So it's a whole lot of people that's happy that Diddy going through this. Guarantee you. They're not praying for him. They don't have no empathy for him. Like the lady who forgave Charlie Kirk, like the Mormons that forgave that church shooter. They don't know nothing about, they don't get no empathy. Diddy don't get no empathy. But the people that kill their loved ones get some, man. Man, wow. I don't know, man. It's the kind of world we live in here right now. And that's the political thing that I was speaking on. Why I believe Diddy wasn't going. I knew he was going to get some time because of the political thing that's going. And it ain't even really political. It's just dumb shit. I would say, like, to play around with forgiveness. Like, I don't know how you could play around with that to prove a point. But I'm sure that's what a lot of people doing. I don't think it's genuine forgiveness what a lot of these people do. I really, truly don't think it is. I really think it's theater. But yeah, man. As long as Diddy don't beat himself up. No matter how many people he wronged, I just don't think nobody is inherently wrong, right? And I ain't gonna lie, I'm biased to people that look like me. I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't gonna hold you up. If you look like me, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm actually practicing what this culture represents, giving people that look like me, that look like the person, the benefit of the doubt. So, yeah, I don't think Diddy. Actually, I think he gonna be even better. I think Diddy gonna be even better. I don't think this gonna take nothing away from him. I don't think this gonna hurt him in no kind of way. Oh yeah, let me see. So look, if y'all want to talk, hit me up, man. I'll add y'all on the show, and we can chop it up. Did I miss a call? Or you could text me. You could text or call. Man. Wow. Big homie said, and plainly spoken, People do not want truth. They can't handle it. It burns. If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh, or else they'll kill you. Wow. Man, people do not want to hear the truth, boy. People want to be lied to. And that is the truth right there, boy. Ooh. Man, I just can't imagine living my life wanting to hear some lies. Damn, that is deep that people don't want to hear the truth. So yeah, this is one of my subscribers. He called me, or he actually texted me this because we was going back and forth about oh yeah, he texted me, and then let me see, I'm gonna read the text. I can't read the whole goddamn text. Basically, he was telling me to get paid first. Just get my content, get some good content, and quit being so honest and brutally honest. Then I told him that's the problem right there. I don't care about getting paid. What good is money if we aren't going to be alive? I'm trying to help save some lives by speaking truth. And he said, admirable, but foolish. You can't save anyone but yourself. There is no truth. There's no quote unquote truth. Everything is subjective. The only way to make the world and all of humanity better is to improve your life and the lives of your children. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that too. I'm not no dummy. I'm actually taking his advice. I'm going to take his advice. He talked to me like a big brother, and I need that. I really needed that. That's something that my blood brother would have told me. But yeah, man, this Diddy situation is it's a sticky situation, man, because like I said, with the political stuff at play right now, I think that played a factor in Diddy's sentencing. I think had Charlie Kirk, all this Charlie Kirk stuff had not happened, he might have got time served or maybe a year or two, But with this at play, I knew they was gonna give him like 4 to 5 years. I've been saying it. Like, yeah, they gonna get Diddy. They gonna give him like 4 or 5. Yep, they gonna give him like a 5 piece. I knew they was. Yeah, even though the charges don't even make sense. But like I said, I don't think Diddy even thinking about them charges. I think he thinking about all the, like the 9 people that died at that party. He thinking about the careers of artists, that he might have contributed to their demise. He thinking about, he might be thinking about that Cassie situation, but I don't think he's sincere about that. I think he just was playing around on that video, man. And he was stupid to say he shouldn't have did the goddamn video. And if he was going to do it, you know what? Ask for forgiveness. Don't say you're not asking for no forgiveness. And don't say you sorry. He fucked up by saying he's sorry. See, that's another reason why I think he got that time. Quit talking about you sorry. Don't never say you motherfucking sorry. Say, forgive me. It's real smart to say, forgive me. No person should be saying I'm sorry. Because when you say you're sorry, it's like you bowing down. And then you know what? When you bow down, you know what happened? People kick you in your goddamn head. You put your head down talking about you sorry. They kick you in your shit and say, I know you sorry. They say, yeah, I know you the sorriest motherfucker I ever seen. They do you bad. They do you worse when you talk about some sorry. He's supposed to say, I'm asking for forgiveness. Then it's on them, and then guess what? If they don't forgive you, that's cool. That's on them. It's on the other person if they don't forgive you. They got to carry that shit. Yeah, ask for forgiveness. So shit, if they don't forgive you, let them carry that shit. And you move on. You forgive yourself. That's what you got to do. Forgive yourself. I don't care what it is you accused of or you you know what I'm saying, you've been convicted of, man. Look, forgive yourself. Because what these crimes and all these laws, these same people that make these laws, they don't even follow the motherfucking laws. They don't even give a fuck. You see Trump, they don't give a fuck about no motherfucking laws, man. These people don't give a fuck about no law. They just want the law to apply to us. They don't give a fuck about no motherfucking. They never have. These laws wasn't made for them to follow. They was only made for us to follow. The Mann Act was made specifically for a black man fucking around with a white woman. There you have it. This shit ain't real. These people don't even believe their own motherfucking laws. They don't even believe it. They don't follow their own shit. So why? You'll say, why would? So it just behoove you to bow down. Like, no, don't bow down. They tell you that, in the court, etiquette and all that. But you can ask for forgiveness. You ain't got to say you sorry. Really be sincere too. Like I ask people for forgiveness all the time. I know I'm not perfect. I ask people for forgiveness all the time, but I don't never say I'm sorry because I ain't sorry. I believe when you say you sorry, you is sorry. You a sorry motherfucker. People kick your ass in your face. Man, you bow down and shit, talking about you sorry. They kick you right in your motherfucking face. Because people don't, that's why the forgiveness word is so powerful, because it's all on that person, just like when Charlie Kirk's wife said she forgive him. That was powerful, but I just don't think that she would forgive him if that was a black man. I just don't think that. I don't, personally. I just don't. Even that church shooter dude, if he was black, I just don't think that they would forgive. I think they'd be ready to go to motherfucking war. Man, they'd be trying to shit. So I personally, that's just me. I don't think it was sincere. I think it was theatrics and to try to stand in solidarity with the white people. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? They love to stand in solidarity, even if they done wrong by these people. But yeah, man, overall, Diddy was definitely railroaded. I'm going to end with that. I'm going to say he got railroaded, not to say like he innocent. I do believe he is guilty of some shit, of a whole lot of shit. But a lot of shit he guilty of, I don't think, you can't even be convicted of, probably. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's legal, music business wise, it's legal. Like he didn't break no laws, but he broke some morals. I think the morals is more important than the laws. What up, Sheen? Yeah, man, Sheen, I'm just sharing, what I'm saying, some perspective. What I'm saying? I really think that that this whole thing, man, it's like at the end of the day, Diddy made a choice. So I'm gonna end with that too. Like, look, he could have been married with children, could have married that what was the lady name that passed away? I forget her name. But yeah, he could have married her, you know what I'm saying? And she might even still be alive if he married her, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of this shit, man, like just in general, man, like I think he lost his way. I think he was a visionary at one point, but I believe he completely lost his way, man. It was, what, he about 55 now, 56. He'd be 56, I believe, next in a month. His birthday, November the 4th. I know Diddy birthday, man. Like, he is, oh yeah, Kim Porter. Yeah, Diddy is a role model of mine from a certain time frame. But I noticed when Biggie died, when they was playing with that Ready to Die and all that's I stopped really dealing with them and Death Row, like the name Death Row. You know, Pac, I wasn't really a big fan of Pac on Death Row. You know, when he started like playing with death, man, you know. So I noticed Biggie and Pac played with death, so I wasn't really following them. But, you know, that curse of Bad Boy, you know, you got Craig Mackman passed away. You got Black Rob passed away. You got Loon and got locked up. And was G-Dep got locked up. Mace left, you know. Actually, Mace was tapped in enough to do what he did. You know, he's probably the smartest one out of their whole little unit. While everybody's saying he's crazy, we obviously see, oh, you got a whole project with him. Oh, dope. Okay. Yeah, I remember you told me that. Yeah, I just had him in this video. Sheen, I don't know if you was in here, but this was the video I played with Mark Curry.
Getting to see me, he said, Marco, you still want to fight me? I'll be like, yeah, we can still do that. Get that over with real quick so we can move on. He come in, Marco, you still want to fight me? Yeah, I want to have a, because one time I know he looked at me, when he was saying something, he was looking at me in the eyes like he was sunning me. He thought I was going to fit. He was looking at me like, and I was like, let me tell you something. I said, my man, if so happened to go from here, it's not going to stop right here. It's going to go all the way. You are not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to go here. It's going to turn these kind of people against you. And now it's going to be me against you. And I try to tell you, you look at me like I'm a little boy, but my brother, I am an animal. And you have to look him in the eye and say that you touch me, I'm going to smack the shit out of you. I'm telling you.
So
I don't care how much money.
When was it over for you?
Self-control. Everywhere the champion went, trouble now seemed to follow. Some of it stirred up by his enemies, some of his own making.
And certain unfair persons peaked because I was champion.
About the man act.
Decided if they could not get me one way, they would another.
2 years earlier, a new federal law had gone into effect. The Mann Act was named for its sponsor, Illinois Republican Congressman James Robert Mann. It barred the transportation of women in interstate or foreign commerce for the purpose of prostitution or debauchery, or for any other immoral purpose. A landmark of progressive era legislation, the Mann Act was intended to stop the luring of young women into prostitution, what was called the white slave traffic, not private relationships between consenting adults. But officials of the Justice Department saw in it their chance to destroy Jack Johnson. By October of 1912, Johnson had a new companion, a 19-year-old prostitute from Milwaukee named Lucille Cameron. When her mother, Mrs. F. Cameron Falconet, came to Chicago and went to the police, charging Johnson with abducting her daughter, the Justice Department's Bureau of Investigation agreed to take the case. Jack Johnson has hypnotic powers, Mrs. Cameron Falconet assured the press, and he has exercised them on my little girl. I would rather see my daughter spend the rest of her life in an insane asylum than see her the plaything of a nigger. Her lawyer said that by having a relationship with his client's daughter, Jack Johnson had insulted every white woman in the United States.
The Mann Act. It was never aimed at an individual having a liaison with a secretary going from New York to Hoboken. It was aimed at commercialized vice. And the Attorney General of America, a man by the name of Wickersham, knew this. And when he was first approached to use this against Jack Johnson, he understood that we can't do this, that this is a travesty. But eventually, Wickersham was convinced to go after Jack Johnson, to pervert the law.
On October 18th, 1912, Chicago police.
So this actually can be used against regular dudes flying women in. And man, if a woman wanna get her extortion game on, ooh, she could do exactly what Cassie did. Wow. So man, this law is really on the books. Now I just really got educated on it myself. So wow, this is deep, man. So you mean to tell me that you meet a dude, meet a chick on Instagram? I'm not into this, but hypothetically, one of y'all meet a chick on Instagram, fly her into your spot. You don't pay her like she wants you to. She can basically extort you if you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you don't pay her what she wants. And you could get prosecuted for the Mann Act. All she got to do is say, yeah, you coerced her to kiss that plane. Wow, that's deep. That's deep, man. But look, I'm finna turn it in. It's about 1 o'clock. Hey, Sheem, get up with me tomorrow, man. I'm available. Or yeah, I'll hit you up.
Energy made this one.
Yeah. Peace and life. That's right. From the very beginning, the first sound is the beat of the heart. The sound of life is only right. Let the beat is the start. We embark on the life of making memories of sounds. In our mind, when we find we can make